Hey everybody, welcome to episode, I think we're on number 5, Max. 5 of Awan Answers, the series where I, Ijaz Awan, help you with your business and startup related questions and queries. But as the majority of you know already, here's the catch. You can only ask questions via Snapchat. So you have to add me on Snapchat. Max, you know the drill. Throw up my Snap code somewhere here. Pause the video, screenshot this, upload this onto Snapchat, add me as a friend, and then ask your questions there, all right? And I'll try my best to get through as many as possible. And you know the rules, guys. No question is too simple. So whatever your question is, get it over to me, and I'll get it answered on the show. So what do we do next? Let's get it. Right, question. I want to expand our business, but I don't want to lose our unique DNA. Help. All right, good question. Very good question there. Whenever you're expanding a business, it's very easy, as this gentleman's identified, to start to lose the identity that you started building your business with. Of course, when you start out a business, you pick your co-founder, you pick the first few employees, and so you know exactly what the energy feels like, what the culture feels like, and it's easy to get that across. As and when you grow, and let's say you now have a HR manager who starts doing the recruitment, and you start to miss out on knowing each and every one of your team, it's easy to start losing the culture. My way for dealing with this is to employ one person whose sole responsibility is to make sure every employee within your team is enthused and engaged. If you can't employ somebody specifically to do that job, then make that the responsibility of your HR manager. They should know how every single person in your team is feeling, what motivates them, what makes them feel down, what are the areas they need to improve on, what are the things they need to feel engaged, motivated, and empowered. Okay? And again, it's that HR manager's role, or let's call him, a chief culture officer, CCO. It's their job to make sure all these people take part in your company events, understand the culture, understand the ethos, and have that unique DNA that you started your business off with. So really, there's no easy answer to that. It is a difficult thing to maintain as you grow your business, particularly as you get past 100, 150 employees. But it's just something, it's good that you've identified it, and it's just something you need to continue to plug away at. And one of the things I found really helped is making it somebody's sole responsibility to make sure everybody's engaged. At a low level, when you only have a few members of staff, it's very easy for you to do it yourself. But as you grow, it needs to be somebody's full-time responsibility. All right? Rightio, what's the next question? What is the best social media platform to use for marketing new startups? Guys, I've kind of addressed this before. It's a good question, but what it comes down to is understanding who is the demographic for your product. Okay, you find out, you know what your product is, you know who the key audience is, and then you need to find out where do the eyes and ears of that target demographic live. Are they on Instagram? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on Periscope or Musical.ly? What app platform, what social media platform are they using the most? And if you're not sure, that's when you need to sit back and start observing your target audience. Hold focus groups, watch people on the street like a weirdo, in lounges, in airports, wherever you may be. Just try to watch behavior and see what apps are people using. Look at the App Store and find out what is the most downloaded app. Do a Google search and see what are the biggest demographics on each app, and then target the app which your demographic falls under. It's just about finding out where do they live and then targeting them. And I touched upon this in episode 4. So if you've not seen the answer to that, go and check it. Next question. What is a reasonable marketing budget to have for the first year of a new company? Guys, there's not really a perfect answer for this. There's no set number that, in your first year you should have £1,000 to spend towards marketing. In your next year you can increase that to £2,000 and then £3,000. It all depends on your business model. If, for example, you have an e-commerce business, then running PPC campaigns and SEO and using social media is a big part of driving traffic to your business. And so your marketing avenues are very important and you need to spend on your marketing. If, however, you own a traditional retail store, then you may need to spend less on marketing because you've paid a lot more upfront for having a good retail unit which has good traffic and footfall going past it. Therefore, you may need less in terms of advertising on TV, etc. So to conclude, so really what we need to do here is understand what is your business model and then make sure any marketing pound you do spend leads to a return on investment. So instead of saying this is your fixed amount of budget to spend on marketing, the better question to ask is what is the minimum return on investment I should expect on each pound? And that's where you need to do some experimenting to find out what works the best for you. So if, for example, you've just started out and you said, right, I've got £1,000 every quarter to spend on marketing. How best can I make that stretch? This is exactly what I do. I'd find out what are the different marketing platforms my demographic live on, see the previous question, and I'd list them out in terms of priority. So I'd be like, okay, my demographic, 19-year-old, they mainly spend time watching Sky Sports News, they mainly spend time reading XYZ magazine, and they mainly spend time on Twitter and Instagram. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to split my £1,000 budget across those platforms, and then I'm going to measure the return on investment I'm seeing. What sort of engagement am I getting? Are people clicking through to my website? Are they buying my product? And if they are from certain platforms, I would just juggle that budget, £1,000, and move it to the platforms where I'm seeing the best result. As soon as you start to find which platforms are performing the best for you, start to double down your money on that platform. As long as you're getting a return on investment on the marketing dollar you're spending, that's a good thing. All right, so it's not about the absolute amount, it's more about how much return are you getting from each dollar you're putting in. And guys, just to add to that point, especially as a startup, it's very important you don't just go out and pay big bucks for the traditional marketing routes. I mean, if you want a front cover on a magazine or you want primetime TV ad, you're gonna have to pay for it. There's no point. So instead, as a startup, try to find a few underground guerrilla tactics for marketing your products. Reach out to influencers and bloggers on social media and popular websites in your niche. Find YouTubers and send them free product and ask them to review it. There's so many different ways you can do it cheaply and effectively using the resources you have, as opposed to spending money which you're finding hard to come by, especially as a startup. All right, so yeah. Rightio, next question. Which business-related books would you recommend? Ooh, good question. There's quite a few, guys. There's quite a few business books I'd recommend. But the one I'd leave you with today is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. As a lot of you may know already, I wasn't always an entrepreneur. I was an investment banker. So when I left university, I studied mathematics at Imperial College in London. After I graduated, I went straight into investment banking as a trader. But at that time, for those 6 to 9 months, I really hated it. And I'd find myself in the evenings and any time I had, just lying on my bedroom floor and just contemplating, is this what I'm about? Is this what I want to do? And it's at that point that I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Max, can you throw up the link, a picture, so people can see what that book looks like for those interested? I read that book and it had a good impact on me. And again, guys, it's one of those books which you continue to revisit at different stages in your life. You read it again, and you always find you take away something different every time you read it. So yeah, definitely Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Max, can you throw up a picture of the book so people know which one to look out for? That book was very profound. It had a good impact on me. Also, at the same time, I found myself reading Mastery by Rob Greene, another very good book. So yeah, go check out those books, guys. I'm sure you'll find them useful. Definitely a good few points and tips in there, which you'll find hopefully resonates with you. So yeah, that's the end of this show, guys. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as you know, hit me up on Snapchat, ask your questions there, and let's try to get out these quickfire shows more frequently. But until then, let's get back into the hustle. Got loads of meetings to get on with, loads of work to get on with. It's a Friday evening. But it's got to get done. Meetings on a Friday evening. That's how we do here. Make every single minute count. Make every single hour count. At the end of the day, you only have yourself to question to. Remember, we're on the journey to becoming the best version of ourselves. So let's make every minute count. Let's get it.